morning, everybody. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network. Yes, it is me, Eric, the sidekick, covering for Dan tonight. Yeah, you want to catch Dan? He might be on a little bit later. He said he might be on a little bit later. He's going to be busy over on Larry's channel at 10 o'clock Pacific. Going to break down the Warriors game. So yeah, you could be able to check him out on there. But yeah, he'll be on here shortly. I'm pretty sure. We'll talk some Giants baseball. Find out what's going on out there for today. There was a game today, a matter of fact. How about that? Dodgers versus the Padres. That was an ass whooping. Yeah, but again, it's spring training. Take that for whatever it is. Hey, there's a guy in the green room. Look at that.
Hey.
He showed up.
What's
all right?
Hey, what's up, NorCal Sports Network chat? I see my man, Lou Marston out there.
What's up, Blue?
Morkatna, Michael Roeder. Had a good talk with a fellow chat member and fan of the show earlier tonight. And we're going to have a new sponsor, looks like, maybe coming up. So
yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So yeah, pretty good. But hey, catch our show we did earlier tonight, a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
If some
of you
have
pre-recorded thing, yeah.
Some of you guys have watched it, but a little pre-recording. But I'm not going to stay on long tonight, as Eric just mentioned. I am going to kind of
be on Larry's show, right?
Yeah, I got to watch the Warrior-Laker game and know what I'm talking about tonight. So it's hard to pay attention to it. I'm just turning it on right now. It's just second half just started. So,
all right. Braden Perry asked, I heard we were in on Tim Anderson. Do we pivot to Elvis or Kike for that middle infield help that Farhan said he would get? Man, Braden, Farhan says a lot of things. A lot of things. Doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition, but yeah, he says a lot of things.
Yeah, I have a feeling that is the Otto. What's the guy's name from the Blue Jays? Otto something. Sanchez. What is it?
Yeah, I can't remember his last name.
Can't remember his last name. It's kind of like the whole, don't get his jersey too soon because he'll be out of here probably. That is the difficulty with this club. You just don't know what Farhan's thinking. He says one thing.
Lopez. Thank you, Braden.
Lopez. That's it. All right. Says one thing, tells us another. Yeah. So,
and the Boris 4 is still out there.
Yeah, the Boris 4 still out there. Exactly. But hey, Art, maybe somebody might want to come in and join you tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe Cliff Martinez is out there or somebody.
Oh, Johnny. Automatic.
that's automatic. Good, I like that. That's I just hope he's not like Johnny LeMaster. Automatic. Like automatic strikeout, automatic out. Yeah. Boy.
Oh, man. We will probably get Chapman. Yeah, that's possible. Did you hear the news today? I guess Melvin talking high on Elliot Ramos.
Yeah. Ramos
says he's the star of spring training, even though spring training's only been going on for it's hard to be a star yet, right?
3 official days, right?
Yeah. So in these last 3 days, Ramos seems to be the guy in spring training. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe he's doing other things that we don't see, but that's good. We wanted to see what this guy could have, right?
I would love to see Elliot Ramos just blossom.
James. Yaz is really hurt. His shoulder impingement.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Hey, there it is. What's up, Northern Lights Entertainment? Good to see you out there, man. Appreciate it.
There he is. Hey. All right. Yes.
Our friend from up north.
Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna, we'll see. Something big pops up like a slam dunk there for Jonathan Kuminga, drives the lane. Warriors are looking good right now, but they've done this a lot this year, and then they end up giving away the.
It kind of gives it away, right?
Yeah, they just got to keep the pedal to the metal all night long. just run these guys ragged. LeBron James is not playing tonight for the Lakers. Davis is the guy that's, they can't stop, but one guy shouldn't be able to beat you. But anyway, you guys have a great night. Maybe somebody wants to join. You know what? Northern Lights might want to.
Yeah, if he wants to come,
join
I'll
us.
throw the link out there.
We're going to put the link out there. Anybody wants to come in and join Eric, maybe co-host for a while. Give us your thoughts. But yeah, we are. Eric's going to take you up probably. What are you thinking, Eric? Till about 10?
Yeah, probably around there, somewhere around there. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Maybe go longer. Who knows?
Yeah, I might be able to pop back in after the ball game because I think I'll have some time before Larry show goes live. So, all right, guys, enjoy. You're in good hands.
All right, Dan.
Have a great night, everybody.
All right, we'll see you in a bit, Dan.
All right, bye.
All right. Northern wants to know what's the word on Keaton's elbow. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had some imagery done on it. It came back clean, so they're just going to kind of slow roll him. But you know how that is, guys. Not always the case, but a lot of times, imaging comes back clean, and then next thing you know, the guy has more elbow issues down the road. So, I mean, who knows? We'll see. We'll just keep an eye on it, see what happens. What's up, Senior? If I come in, I'll get banned. LaJuice James. All right. Well, there you go. What's up? We got Chris Addy out here. What's up, Chris? I remember you a couple of nights ago, man. You had some really good comments. I'll say, let's go with who we have at third. Yeah. Both of those are equal to Chapman. Okay. If we sign someone, Bellinger, if we have to. Wait till next year, get Bregman. Then the lineup will look like this next year. Okay, I see what he's doing. He's going to write out what he thinks the lineup will look next year, depending on what happens. I agree, you got JD Davis, who, played a serviceable, I would say above a serviceable third base last year, right? His defense was pretty good. His bat was excellent in the first half. Second half, I think he started getting a little run down. But you also got Casey Schmidt out there. So, I mean, you guys could hate the word. It's not a platoon, but it would be load management. How about that? Load management. So then both of those guys, have a chance to contribute. I mean, why spend $100 million on Chapman when you got guys that are already in your system? That one I just really don't make sense. Now, Bellinger, I like what you say about Bellinger because he can play first base. Dan talked about it earlier, having Wade coming off your bench that's a pretty good bench piece, right? If you have Bellinger at first base, and then of course he can play outfield as well. But I would also like to see what we got in those outfield, the younger outfielders. What exactly do we have in Ramos and Matos? Who knows? Maybe Luciano gets moved out there. Who knows? I mean, I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on. I think this spring. How well does Luciano play at shortstop? And then does he come out of spring training playing shortstop, or is he going to be in a different position? That's something we'll have to keep an eye on. But yeah, I was kind of touching on earlier. Bob Melvin had some glowing remarks about Ramos, saying that he's the star of spring training. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Anyone else watch the Dodgers and Padres spring training game? Interesting. Again, it's spring training, but that was something. That was something. Ben Bamboo says it would be incredible to have Lee and Kim atop the lineup next year if Lee succeeds. I agree. I think that could work out. If this year I'm not expecting a lot from Lee because it's going to be his first experience in MLB. But next year he could be better. It's possible. And then if you get Kim and him at the top of the lineup, yeah, I think that would be a nice 1-2 punch. I don't know where you put. I guess Estrada further down. I don't know if you don't want Estrada in your third. There are 3, 4, 5 hitters. You want those guys to kind of have a little bit of power. Don't get me wrong. Estrada does have a little bit of power. I don't know. We'll see. Padres pitching was sad. Yeah, that's an understatement. Someone was it? Senior, you were talking about shorts, or Fitzgerald was talked about. Was it on KMBR? I can't remember what it was. I guess was it Melvin talking about Fitzgerald maybe being a shortstop? Maybe. We'll have to see how that works out. Was MF asking if we're going to do post games? Yep. That we will. Going live after every game, man. That should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, hopefully it's better than last year, but we'll see. All right, Chris Hattie has the lineup. Lee right field leading off. Soto left field. Bregman at third base. Bellinger in center field. Soler DH. Wade at first. Estrada at second. Bailey catching, and Luciano at short. Soto, huh? I don't think you're going to have Soto and Bellinger and Bregman. Let's see how let's see what happens with Matos and Ramos. Let's see if they can crack an outfield. If we can, yeah. Let's see if they're sufficient enough to be able to take an outfield spot. I don't know. I honestly, I just don't see Farhan doing that. I really don't. I can't see it. What else we got in here? Mark Katna. I thought it was interesting when Melvin said Fitzgerald did great playing outfield for the first time, but also didn't Farhan say Fitzgerald was the best center field in the system? Well, whatever. I know, dude. Not whatever to you, but I'm talking about Farhan. Yeah, he did. He did pretty good, being called up and never played in the outfield before. That was pretty impressive. I would have to agree with that. Yeah. Padres had they had 70 players in a dugout. Yeah. There was a lot of yellow hats in that dugout. Yeah. Me neither, Ben. I'm not sold on Luciano yet. We'll have to see what happens. I'm a little bit higher on Matos than Luciano right now at this here, February 22nd of 2024. I'm higher on Matos than Luciano right now, but that could change. Yeah. Musgrove. Yes. Musgrove had a rough start. I don't think he got one out. Did he? I don't think he even got one out. Tough. What do we got in here? Soto is going to win over. Yeah, Soto is going to be. And you know who his agent is, right? That is true. We were saying that all last year. No one can get in a pattern and gain consistency when they are being platooned on a daily basis. That's what we were saying. That's one thing with baseball. We harp on that all the time. Is this specifically baseball? You got to be able to go out there every day to gain that, as you said, the consistency and get those repetitions to be able to be productive in the game of baseball. You have to. You got to have that time. And if you don't, and it gets interrupted, you start losing it. And I think that's what we saw last year. Boom, boom, boom. I'm high on Schmidt. Yeah, I'm high on Schmidt. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I traded Luciano for Bichette. See, I don't know if contingent on an extension. Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I just don't think Farhan can make a trade like that. I could be wrong, but from what we've seen, right? From what we've seen in these last 5 years, it doesn't seem like Farhan could do a type of trade like that. And who knows? The Blue Jays may not be that high on Luciano as well. It's possible. The Darkness, did you see only one MLB top player is from the Giants? Yeah, and I think that was Webb, right? I think he's the only one. What's up, Robert? I see you out there. Welcome. The Giants try to win with gimmicks. Yeah, you can't win with. I agree. I 100% agree. They try to get all fancy with the spices last year, thinking, and I know what you mean by gimmicks. You're talking about openers and the constant platooning, that stuff's not going to win you games. Come on. You got to field a competitive team who's, who you guys got out there, especially in your lineup. You got to have 1 through 5 at the minimum, 1 through 4 as your set guys every single day. And if you don't have that and you're trying to mess around with stuff, you're not going to succeed. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What's up, Tyler? Hey, Eric. May seem extremely hot take, but I got the San Francisco Giants going 162. Going for 100-win season. Wow. Tyler. Okay. He's like, no, Mark, it's a hot take. Oh, man. I think they have a better chance of maybe flipping that around. That's a better chance than maybe 100 wins. Man, that's bold. That's bold. Don't agree, but hey, if that's what you think, go for it, man. Melvin will bring out the best in the players. Well, I think what you're trying to say is, his steadfastness as a manager, his ability to manage a game, maybe building relationships with the players. Yeah. If that's what you're talking about, I agree. It's still, the player has the bat in his hands. No one's going up to the plate with him. There's no hitting coach. There's no manager. There's no pitching coach, up there with the pitcher. It's within their hands to be able to go out there and execute. So yes, but no, do I think Melvin's going to play an impact? Yes, he will play an impact as far as keeping the clubhouse in line, not in line as like in discipline, but understanding what's going on there. You got to be a leader of men. And if you're not a leader of men, when you got 26 men out there trying to accomplish one goal, that it's going to be an uphill climb. Let's see. There you go, Tyler. If the Giants win 100 games, NorCal Sports Network will donate 100 to you and 10 for every win above 100. Look at that. You perked the ears of Mr. Dan Coach Emilio there, Tyler. Oh, man. Let's see. Melvin isn't a complete weirdo like Kapler. Agreed. Yes. Hope to God they let Melvin manage instead of Farhan giving the analytics. Yeah, I don't know. That I'm hoping the same thing. We'll see. Let's once the games begin in the regular season, we'll see what's going on. I think we'd be able to tell whether or not Farhan is intervening in the roster. Or not the roster, but the lineup. Yeah, I think so. Northern Lights says, I told Dan today, I'm not quite sure if this is a winning ball club or a real weak season. But hey, speaking of gimmicks, at least we have Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah, how about that? Mickey Mouse ears. Something to look up for. Howard. What's up, Howard? Says, hey, Eric. Given what Trout said about saying if the Giants approach them with a trade, do you think Trout would waive his no-trade clause and play for a shot at a championship? I think he would waive it to. I would think he'd waive it to go play for another team. I don't think he's going to waive it to come to the Giants. The Giants and the Angels are not that far apart, right? As far as where you think they're going to go, right? If Trout's going to waive his no trade, I would think he's going to go to quote unquote a contender. Atlanta, Dodgers probably not, but who else? The Yankees, I don't know. Boston, I doubt it. I don't know. It's going to have to be a team that's going to be competing for sure. That's still a big contract. The Phillies, there you go. Maybe that's possible. Man, that would be something. Whew. Trout, because I forgot he's a Philly native. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Marcana. Michael, absolutely. Holy crap. That would be something. That would be something. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I could see him waving, but not to come to the Giants. Sneaky. What do we got here? No, I don't think Dan said you had to put any money in. I think he just said that if they actually win 100 wins, he's going to give you $100, and any win above 100, you get an additional $10 for every win. I think that's what he's saying. Which two free agents would make the Giants contenders? I think I would have to agree with what Dan said. If you get to 2 starting pitchers, I still think the lineup needs to have something. But if you get Snell and Montgomery, I think you might be able to if you're able to get into the playoffs, and now you got a three-headed monster with Webb, Snell, and Montgomery, I think you could do some damage. Granted, you still got to be able to score runs, right? You still have to score runs. So is that going to get it done? I think they'll be in it, but you still got to be able to score more runs than the opposing. That's going to be the key. But I think that I like that idea that Dan said last night as far as those two. I still think we need to get a middle of the order kind of guy, but I don't know. We kind of talked about that earlier in that pre-recorded. What is the direction? We really don't know. We keep hearing they want to compete, in the playoffs, but then you make moves that really don't really lead you to believe that that's true. As far as the moves they're considering, especially when you said that, hey, we're going to be shopping at the top of the rotation, not going to be doing depth. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I would love to see the young guys, but man, here. Let me go off on this a little bit. We're going, and I kind of brought that up in the show earlier. We're going into the 6th year with Farhan leading the charge, as you will, and what exactly has the minors brought to the organization in these 6 years? There's potential, but man, there's a lot of teams out there. It didn't take long for them to get their star draft picks, if you will, to come up and start producing for the big club. Giants really haven't had that. We had the emergence of Patrick Bailey as a catcher. I think he's going to be a good catcher. We'll see. Let's see how he does this year. Sometimes the second year is a little bit different. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We got a lot of expectations on Luciano and Harrison and Matos. But we've had a lot of expectation on a lot of Giants players that's come up, not just in under Farhan, but also under Sabian and previous regimes. Not all of them pan out. It's just the way it is. Not every draft pick that you get is going to hit. Would it be nice? Absolutely. But who have we had that has come up that has made a serious impact for the club? Probably Logan Webb, right? He's probably the most recent guy that I can think of offhand that has really come up and has I don't know if there was much hype about him, but he's living up to the hype as far as being a top of the rotation type of pitcher. So there a lot of things are going to have to happen for this team to succeed. You can't build it all through free agency, right? And you can't also have all young guys in your lineup. So you're going to have a blend there. And I think that's where I think Farhan has failed. The free agency has been, mediocre at best. Well, we'll just say at best, mediocre. Yeah, he's made a couple, he signed Rodon. I like that, but he didn't trade him. He signed Gosman for a couple of years. That was good, but didn't extend him. What other free agent out there that was reasonable? Alex Cobb, but then again, he's always had a history of being injured, and he was injured again yesterday. So, but last year, he had a good a good first half, but then it kind of fell apart after his no-hitter bid. I don't know, man. It's just a lot of things are going to have to go right for this to start seeing this team start competing for the postseason. Oh yeah, Drew Smiley, forgot about that. And then I think it was a 1-year deal. I think wasn't the whole Anderson. He wound up going to LA the year after. He had a decent year. Over Peterson's first year, Justin, was okay. The second one where you paid him $19 million to be fat, and that was unacceptable. But it's ridiculous, man. It's just, look what he had to do this year. Yeah, and Dan brought this up. This is a great point. As far as the how much the Giants are spending, they're spending less. They're spending less this year than they did the previous year. But yet they are spending a lot more money than last year. It's because last year, of course, all the experiments that or as Northern likes to say, the gimmicks that Farhan went out there and acquired didn't work out. And he wound up having to get rid of all these guys, to swing for a trade for Ray. And we still don't know how that's gonna work out. When you're coming off injury, you just never know. You just never know. All right, let's see. This is earlier. Northern Light says, do you agree the problem with the Giants right now is besides Lee, perhaps we lack a star power that makes you get, oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree that is definitely an issue with exciting the fan base. Look, of course, right. As a fan, you want to see the team. You want to see a superstar out there, right? You want to have someone to get behind, be, someone that, you don't want to miss their at bat. And someone who's going to be a Giant for a period of time, right? For a period, not someone that's going to be here for a year or two. And then all of a sudden he's off somewhere else playing for another team. And the Giants are lacking that. Absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. I want them to put a team together that's going to compete. And this is something I want to get onto a little bit earlier. Here, there's another comment in here. Mike Voss. He says, did you hear that J.D. Davis and Matt Williams both think that Chapman should be a solid shortstop for this season? Whew. Didn't hear that. Plus, Davis added that Chapman could slide on third base next year if he... So he's picking his replacement, huh? I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people, even there's a lot of people in the chat that like Chapman. Don't get me wrong. He's got a great glove. I get it. I'm not gonna say it isn't. And is this bat capable? Yeah, the bat's capable. I know there's something there, man. I'm weary. I'm weary. I don't understand the propensity to always have to go on and sign guys who have a history with being injured often. And I agree, Michael. I think he's going to be overpriced. I don't think the value that you're going to get for said player in Chapman, I think, don't get me wrong. I understand that you got to overpay for talent, but is that the type of talent that you want to overpay for? I don't know about that. Lee is a huge question mark. I agree, Justin. Lee is a huge question mark for the simple fact that he's never played in MLB before. And at KBO, I think a lot of the stadiums that he played in and a lot of the parks were dome. He didn't play outside a whole lot. I don't know if that's going to play an issue with him, roaming the confines of Oracle Park and some of these other. There's a lot of ballparks in NOS. Don't give me, and I understand it's not like it was in the past where you play a lot of NOS teams, but these are guys that you're going to be chasing. A lot of these ballparks got huge center fields, and we'll have to see how he's able to field that position. Center field's a key position, right? just like your shortstop, your center fielder, your catcher, even your second baseman. You know, you want to be strong up the middle. So if you're having issues out there in center field, you know, that could bode to be a bad season. And as far as his bat, I don't know. We'll see. We saw that he's a big ground ball hitter. We'll see how that works out. You know, this is not. Yeah, I am, Matt. What's up? Is that going to lead to a lot of double plays? You know, remember, this is the MLB. This isn't KBO. The talent is a lot different at this level than what he's ever played in. So we'll see. Don't get me wrong. I understand he played in a WBC, but you know, that's a small sample size. Let's see what happens when he's in the middle of the season and where he's at. No, now he's got a realistic lineup. What's up, Chris? Here we go. Lee, center field. Kim at shortstop. Alonso at first base. Soler, DH. Wade, left field. Matos, right field. Bailey catching. Okay. Webb, Ray, Cobb. I think this is Cobb's last year, so he may or may not. We'll see, but I'll go with it. Harrison and Wisenhunt. I like that better. I like that better than this year. That 1 through 4, I like that with Lee, Kim, Alonso, and Soler. Interesting. You got Wade as your lefty. Matos in right field. Bailey catching. But Wade in left field, though. Whew, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe make Wade. Maybe do something else with left field. Have Wade come off the bench. Maybe. I don't know. Possible. But I like that starting rotation. If Ray and Cobb can come back and produce like their old selves. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. FPS. Trade Conforto and Flores back to New York for Wade and Alonso. I think you're going to ask for a lot more for Alonso. I think Alonso's going to finish. He's going to not finish it out, but he's going to. I think this year he's definitely going to stay in New York. And then what happens next year, I don't know. Now, I saw this in a chat earlier. Kodai Senga is hitting IL already. Crazy. We got all these pitchers already hitting IL. Does that mean now that makes me wonder if New York is going to try to shop after either Montgomery or Snell? So that's a possibility. And if they do, I don't know. If they do that, does that mean is that more of a chance that Alonso walks next year? Maybe. He might be a trade piece at the trade deadline, depending on where the Mets are going to be. But I think he's going to start off the season with New York for sure. Conforto, Flores, Wade, and Mason Black for Alonso? Maybe. Because you know what? Now that you say that, FBI, that might be closer. Because they're not going to ask for the world because, of course, he's a walk here, right? You're basically, it's a rental. So you might be able to get away with that. But the question is, does New York want that? That's going to be see, and that's the key with trades. You know, it's all about what the other team, not necessarily, of course, you know, you want the player that you want, but does the other team value the guys that they're going to get in return for the player that they're going to give up? Yeah, Conforto and Flores both came from New York. Exactly. It's true. And Flores, no, he's got a hell of a bat. I'm not going to discount that the Wilmer Flores is a fantastic right-handed bat. Absolutely. Problem is, the only thing he could do, yes, Joe, saw the new pants. Wow. Anyways, he's a fantastic right-handed bat. Is he an overall good baseball player? His defense, is it serviceable? Yeah, I think he's better as a DH. I think he would have been a great DH. But I don't know. Maybe he's going to be a trade piece. in the middle of the season. I'm not, I don't want to talk about that yet because we don't know where the team's going to be. But if the team's floundering, maybe he'll bring back a piece or two. We'll have to see because the teams will value a solid bat at the trade deadline to get ready for their push into the playoffs. Yeah, if we trade for Alonso extension, yeah, ain't gonna happen. That's the problem, Chris. Not with Scott Boras, unless he changes his tune, right? Scott Boras, man, that guy he's a dogged player agent, no doubt about it. He's looking out for the best interest for the players, no doubt about it, right? You can't argue. One thing I will say, as bad as it is for baseball, he's doing what's the best for the players, right? Can you fault him for that? The players hire him for a specific reason, and that's to get paid, right? That's what they want. They hire him because they know he's going to go out there and get the best contract, and he's looking after the best interests of the players. He could care less about the team, right? He's not working for a team. He's working for these individual players. So he's going to do the best for him. So you got to give him credit for that, right? Is it good for baseball? No. I agree. It's not good for baseball. But hey, these teams, it's not like these teams are broke. They got a lot of money, right? And of course, they're going to try to pay as least as possible. So there's got to be that negotiation. So just take that in consideration. But no, I don't think I don't think Alonso would. If you traded for him, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see an extension happening. Oh my goodness, what do we got here? Boras is looking out for Boras. Yeah, he is. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Absolutely. But he's also, he's a player agent, right? You can't sway me off of that. He's looking out for his players, but of course, yes, he's looking out for himself too because he's getting a big paycheck, no doubt about it. But it's kind of what it is right now. It's gonna be interesting when it comes to the next negotiations between the Players Association and the teams. I don't know, man. I got a feeling that it may get ugly again, but we could talk about that later. Oh, what do we got here? Matt. Eric, do you think on a 1-year pillow contract, Chapman would convert to I'm guessing you meant shortstop, right? If he's a dominant left infielder, leads the league in plus 90. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, convert. That's what I thought. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. But what do you do with Luciano then? Okay, guys. Chat, would you guys like to see Chapman at shortstop? And if so, where would you put Luciano? Hey, maybe Jackson. Good point. Age is creeping up on him. Maybe he's losing his edge. Yep, there we go. That's what I figured. Yeah, there's a lot of Michael would be down. The consensus is that no one wants Chapman. Okay, let me. You know what? Let me put a poll out there because I'm going to try to gauge this. I want to gauge this in a right way here. We're going to get scientific. And no, we're not talking about being a baseball scientist under Farhan. We're talking about just being scientific here. Start a poll. All right, here we go. How do I want to word this? Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Okay. There we go. Here we go. All right. I got a pull out there now, guys. Let's see. What's up, 49er Media? So I got a pull out there. I just kind of want to get a gauge of where is the pushback on getting Chapman. I'm not advocating for him because I think the Giants already have people there that can do the same job admirably. I think I know what it's not going to be, and I already put it in there. Oh. And I put doubtful because, I don't think that's going to be a reason why. I don't think that's the primary reason why people don't want to sign Chapman. As bad as bad, okay? Can I say all of the above? Oh, man. I can't put another one. I get 4 options, guys. Well, let's see. Let's see where this goes. Oh, okay. Interesting. Actually, I can't. You know what? Oh, whatever. I'll just leave it as it goes. I guess I shouldn't even put his glove. Farms roster makes you sick. Ugh. Lay off those damn New York style sausages there. And can I say yeah? Well, I'm trying to gauge the people of why they don't want Chapman. And then maybe I'll put one on there. Is a why do you want? Is Larry going crazy again, Jim? Seriously? That was epic last night. Epic. It all depends on the contract. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and I mean, are they going to talk bad about Chapman? I don't. That's kind of unfair to Melvin and Williams because are they going to throw him under the bus? You know, Melvin was his manager for a few years, right? Matt Williams was his third base coach. I just want Casey to play. Okay, there you go. That's even better. I agree. I 100% agree with you, Northern. And the same thing with you, FPS. You already got the guys in your system that could do that job. Let's see. Yeah, the biggest thing is his bat and his cost. You know, that's significant because, you know, see, here's the problem with the Giants last year. Their defense was atrocious. Atrocious. Bad. In the toilet. It was garbage, man. But the bats weren't exactly all that great either. I mean, there's a lot of right. Can we all agree that the Giants, you know, there's a lot of holes to fill, both defensively and with the bat. There's a lot of work to be done. Probably can't be done in 1 year. But then again, this is the issue I have. We're going into year 6. And this is and basically it's almost like we're back in 2019, right? Doesn't that feel? Does 2019 feel much different than it did here in 2024? Minus Crawford, Belt, Posey. Does it feel much different, guys? Does the team feel that much better compared to the 2019 team, the first year with Farhan? It feels like it's, I think someone said this in the chat yesterday, Groundhog Day, right? It feels the same. It feels like there hasn't been a drastic improvement in the team, which you're supposed to do, right? As president of baseball operations, you're supposed to, you know, if you're not going to improve it in the short term, then make it incremental. But there hasn't even been incremental. Larry is arguing with coach. You wanted Tim Anderson on a 1-year deal, huh? I don't know. Isn't that guy got an issue with, clubhouse stuff? I don't know. And he was kind of dookie, right? Now, a change of scenery might happen, but I don't think San Francisco is the place that you really want to try to resurrect your career. Chris Addy says Giants won't sign Bauer because of a liberal state. There could be something to that, but there's also 29 other teams that haven't signed him either. So there is that. So I'm not going to say that it's all because of, a certain political lean in a state or a city. But there's also 29 other teams that don't seem to be high on him that could easily use him. Texas, right? Texas needs a starter. Not hearing much about that. Who else needs a starting pitcher, right? Sure, there's a lot of teams out there. Oh, yeah. See, that's not good. Hell of this, hell of that. Not good. He still may be having issues with that too. When you start losing it between the ears, that makes it really difficult. Trying to play at a top level in a major professional sports franchise. It is. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I think I would pass on Tim Anderson. Let's see what he does this year, and then see what happens, next year. If he can rebound to show that maybe he has something, maybe he's got it back together. But I don't know. I think the Giants, I'm done with the experimental stuff with the Giants. Let's get some legitimate guys in here. Let's see. I'm going to close this out. Let's see. Well, here we go. You guys will see it out there. 12% actually said or it's 11% now is his glove, but primarily his bat, then his cost, and then his age. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, hold on. Let me see what we got here. Bear with me for a minute. Just going to take a gander here. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Let's see what's going on there. Boom, boom, boom. To get back here. All right, guys. Here, I'm going to throw out the link again. If anyone wants to come and join, you guys are more than happy to. I think we still got it. There we go. Anyone wants to join, you guys are more than happy. Love to hear what you guys have to say. We're doing this every day, trying to figure out if there's anything new that's going to be happening with the club. Today, not a whole lot of news. I mean, the big thing, Bob Melvin saying Ramos seems to be the guy right now in spring training. Granted, it's day 3 of the full squad reporting, so we'll see. I'd rather talk about hemorrhoids than the Niners right now. Yeah, man, this is baseball time, right? I understand, football's king. Still, it's king all year round. I get it. But hey, it's baseball season. I agree. If it was Nolan era now, I'd say throw the dough. Yeah, he still has a bat. I think, he's not like Chapman. He's definitely still has a bat. And of course, we know what his glove's about. Yeah, Marcell Ozuna was a domestic abuse. Yep, he got a second chance. Yep, true. I think there might be other reasons with Trevor Bauer. Don't know. I'm just taking a stab in the dark in that there's got to be other, because I think another team would have picked him up by now, right? So there's got to be something else there. What is it? I don't know. And maybe some of it had to do with not a great teammate. Yep, there's been talk about that. the whole spider tax stuff, that may have gotten him in a little bit of trouble because he was outing people on that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think he is too. I think he is blacklisted. I agree. Because no other team has signed him. All right. I want Bauer and keep begging Giants to do it. I think he still has it to be able to pitch at the big league level. I think he does. But I think it's a baggage that comes along with it. Whether it's his history or his clubhouse demeanor or whatever. Yeah, I think that's the stuff. I don't think it's his skills. I don't think it's his ability to be a top-notch pitcher. I think it's just the stuff that goes on in the clubhouse. That's what I think it is. He went on Fox and tried to make his situation political. Yeah, see, that's a bunch of crap. You don't want to do that because now you're making it more about yourself rather than the game and what you want. Yeah. I don't know. All right, what else? What else are we going to talk about out there? Is there any? Oh, here, hold on. Do we want to find this? Who do we want to go with here? Let's see this. I don't want to do that. What's this? Where are we at here? Let's see if they're going to show it here. Nothing there. Trying to find the right Twitter feed here because maybe we'll talk about the new uniforms. You guys tell me what you think. Nothing there. I think I know we're going to have to go with this. Is there anyone? Oh. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Urshela signed. I just saw. Wow. Not just now, but I missed it. He signed with the Detroit Tigers, huh? $1.5 million. Mitch Keller is extended. Oh, so it's Singa's. It's a shoulder. Okay, gotcha. Where the heck is this? Come on. Am I missing it? I think I'm missing it. Or is it? Hold on. It's this one. What do we got here? No, don't want to do that. No. I don't know. How do I do this? There. That's kind of hard to see there. Whatever. I'm not going to bring it up. Warriors are routing the Lakers 121-102 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left. All right. There you go. Nice. Okay, guys. How many have seen the new MLB jerseys out there? Man, they look pretty bad, don't they? Is that it? Am I right? Are those iron-on like numbers and last names and sponsor patches? Are those ironed on? They're not stitched in? Looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. The pants are yeah, and the letters are really small. Yep. It just looks bad, man. It looks bad. I'm not gonna even get into the. I'm not touching. I'm not touching the pants. Yeah, correct, Aaron. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. That's the photo I was going to bring up, and I think I'll. Tyler, yep, there you go. Oh my God. How did they release that? Why would they even release that? That is so bad. Come on, baseball, do better, man. This is spring training. We've been waiting all winter for baseball to start, and this is the kind of crap that you're coming out with? You know, there's nothing else. Oh, man. God. Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo. Yes, Eddie. Exactly. I mean, it's like, come on, man. That's just, it's ridiculous that's. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't understand. What was the whole, why? Why did they change? Why did they change? They remind me of uniforms in high school. It's just, it's dumb. It just looks bad. I mean, all right. Let's see what we got here. Little League. I'm depressed. Thanks, Farhan. Yeah, Grand Admiral. I mean, he came out and said it, right? He came out and said that they're done for the season. Hey, gonna welcome in our dedicated chat member here. Bring in Northern. Hey, gonna welcome in. What's up, Northern Lights?
Hey, can you hear me? This is my first time. Everything good?
Yeah, sounds great. Maybe turn down the volume though, because I can hear myself in the.
Wait a sec. I got the other one open. So is that better?
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Boy, I tell you, I love your show.
Hey, I appreciate that. That's
love
awesome.
Your show, and it's been pretty interactive tonight. A lot of great chats going on.
Yeah, that's something that I love about the show, because that's one thing I like to do is I want to get other people what they think. I like the interaction. I think that's fun. You know, I think because that's one thing that baseball does is it fosters that conversation. It's the concept. You know, you may not always agree, but everyone, the one thing you will agree on, you want your team to do better, right?
Well, we can't do any worse.
Got a point there. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting start. To the season. I told you I'm going down to. I'm going to miss opening night because I spent a lot of money in the Springsteen concert. But from there on in, I'm going to San Diego for games 2, 3, 4. The LA series turns out, and then back home for opening day.
Wow!
It's either going to be a great start, or boy, we're going to be talking about a lot of things come March, April.
Yeah,
April 6th, April 7th.
What is it they say? You can't win the pennant in March, or in April, but you could sure lose it. Yeah.
Yeah. You touched on something interesting. I keep saying that, you know, I just made the comment a few minutes ago online there. I think you picked up on it that a lot of people talking about our lineup and wanting to bring in all these players. Let's sign this guy and let's get this guy. And there's too much talk about replacing guys who are adequate for the cost and bringing in the wrong pieces. We need pitching. I said it all last year. You can't, and I said it a few minutes ago. You can't win with gimmicks, Eric. You can't win with one starting pitcher. You can't. Wilmer Flores, I went to 5 games last year, and in the 5-game stretch at Oracle Park, he played first base, second base, third base, DH, and had a night off during that span.
Mm-hmm.
How does a guy get consistent? I'll tell you, you go to the ballpark and you remember that club last year. Yeah. You don't know what your role is. How can you develop, you get into a good steady rhythm when you just don't know where you're going? There's no leader. Again, it goes to leadership, doesn't it?
Absolutely right. Because that's who's going to set your lineup. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like Kapler had no clue in what he was doing out there on the field. He really didn't. And
I do feel, you know what? I'm not a fan of Kapler. Mm-hmm. I don't know many that are, but I'll tell you, he was the scapegoat. Farhan pulled that carpet out. I'm telling you that he was the scapegoat because he was a puppet on a string. That guy.
Oh yeah, and you know what? And we kind of highlighted a little bit in that video we did earlier. Is I know we're throwing a lot of blame at Farhan, but maybe he's getting directed from above. Maybe there's an ownership factor in here, and hey, Farhan, we don't want you to spend above this. Maybe there's a quote unquote cap of where Farhan can't go, and he's got to make do with whatever he has.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I hope not, because this is the problem. If you're going to be an owner of a baseball franchise, first and foremost, you want to win. You want to put out the best product out there. It's about, hey, I love baseball and I want my team to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against anyone wanting to earn a buck. Not at all. But you know what? Winning creates wealth.
That's right.
It does.
That's
right. You got to spend, but the money comes back in.
And you guys have touched on it quite often. This is a franchise that owns the ballpark, has all that real estate. Well, guess what? The ball club is playing second fiddle in all of their wealth management right now.
Yes. And that's something that we've been hitting is it's more about the Mission Rock than what's going on in Oracle Park.
Yeah, the mission should be to put a good ball club on the field.
Yes, and if you want to do other things on the side, I get it. Go for it. But come on, let's not. And I wanted to. Matter of fact, this is one of the topics I wanted to talk about in the chat. Is are you comfortable? There's certain fans out there that are like, you know what? We got our 3 world championships. I'm okay if they suck for a while. I'm okay. For me, this is just me speaking.
Eric, that's no way to run a. That's not the way you run any business.
No.
Getting to first place is the tough thing. You got to stay there, my friend. You can't just rest on your laurels and say, "Oh, we won back a decade ago."
Right.
You know what? Oh, we won a decade ago. Keep on buying the tickets. Come on, take the selfies. Come on, get a hot dog. And we got a crappy product out there, but as long as you keep on paying and you keep on coming out, boy, we're just lining our pockets. I put more into my fantasy league than they're doing with this ball club. And I'm a diehard. I already got, I don't know if you can see it. I've got my number.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do it backwards, right? I said on chat, I've got the gray, I've got the cream, and now I've got my orange. I'm ready for opening day. But, man, I tell you, this is a ball club. Isn't this a ball club that it just does not get you excited?
No, it doesn't. Dan, he's back.
There's Dan.
Hey,
Dan.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
Stop talking about him. Stop talking about
Dan. Now Dan gets. I talked to Dan on the telephone several times, and now he gets to know why I've got the face for radio.
Oh, that's a good one.
Pretty good.
Hey, yeah, I got a text from Senior in the chat. He said I better get into the chat. I might get Wally pipped by you. Oh,
I don't know if you saw it, Dan. He just stood up and he showed his Jung-Hoo Lee.
Oh, you got a new jersey? I did.
Yeah, I got 3 new. Geez, you got to this internet thing. You got to do it backwards on the camera, don't you? You got to go.
You got
the going.
That was
and
awesome.
I got the home, the away, and whatever you call this, the Friday.
I like the orange. I love that old orange jersey. That was my first jersey. Jack Clark, number 22, the original jersey when they stitched the numbers in and they were thick. And yeah, I don't know. Is that one of the originals or is that the stick-on lettering?
Oh, this is all stitched. I saw one of those newer jerseys yesterday. Not a Giants, but a Major League jersey yesterday. And oh, geez, boy, does it look like amateur hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lettering was smaller. I was a friend of mine has a local sports shop. So he was showing me some NHL jerseys, and he was showing me the I think it was a San Diego jersey. And the lettering on Tatis is half the size on the back. You're going to need binoculars up in the nosebleeds to try to read that thing. I'm telling you, there's just so much right now. Do you guys agree? Maybe I'm just you know what? I'm always poo-pooing things. Maybe I got a bad attitude, but there's just a lot. Not only the Giants, there's a lot about baseball.
Yes,
that really, really bleeds amateur hour.
It sure does. It's like, come on, this is you got the spotlight now. Football's done. Spring training's begun. People, you know how it is. Marty talks about it, and it's great. You know, it's the hope of the season, and everyone's getting excited about baseball. And then you come out with this, and it's just, man, oh man.
Oh yeah, opening day is great, isn't it? Well, what happens the next day?
Yeah. Right.
And I got to tell you, now that I actually am up front and center with you guys, it seems like I'm the only guy in the chat. I'm the only guy who is a proponent of Wilmer Flores.
Oh, I like Wilmer. I was
talking about him a little bit.
Wilmer how many home runs did he hit last year, Dan? This is a guy who plays half the season every year, hits 300, and hits in the 20 home run mark. Put this guy, we got to play our play. Can you imagine going to Yankee Stadium? You're a Yankee fan, taking your kids, and you got to shell out the money. You get there, and it's righty lefty. Judge isn't playing today. You play your better players. I just don't. It goes back to what I said earlier, Eric. Gimmicks,
right?
Lefties, righties. This goes back to the Bobby Cox. He introduced that with Toronto back in the 80s. Lefties, righties, and Jim Fanning was actually. You guys know Jim Fanning. Montreal Expos was the first guy who experimented, and boy, did he do it at a wrong time. He brought in a starting pitcher in the 9th inning of a playoff game, and it was must win against the LA. We call it Blue Monday. Rick Monday hit a home run off Steve Rogers, who came out of the pen in the 9th inning. Boom, the year was over. Trip to the World Series, gone for the Expos. And they had did they have a stacked lineup that year with Gary Carter. And they had Rodney Scott, Tim Raines, Warren Cromartie. Boy, that team.
Yes, I love that team. Do you have any Expos gear?
I got a few things. When I worked for the Montreal Canadiens, I got to hang out with quite a few of the players from the Expos, and I've got some game worns. I think I got a Rogers. Wow. I've got a Steve Rogers jersey, and I got a couple others. I might have a. Wasn't Tim Wallach? I've got a couple other players anyway. They're stashed away.
Boy, they had some great players. Gary Carter, like you mentioned, Tim Wallach, Tim Raines, Andre Dawson, Ellis Valentine, trying to
in that era, the 80s, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean they eventually became the Washington Nationals, but they should have won a World Series in Montreal.
Well, they were the hottest team the year of the strike.
Yeah, 94. Yeah, they were
the best club.
Yeah, they were running away with the National League East that year. Yeah.
Hey, in case I forget when we wrap this up, and I'm going to have to head out soon. I'm doing the morning show tomorrow, so I got to be up in like before you know it. But I want to thank you guys for the show you do and for bringing me in tonight. This is a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. What kind of radio show do you do?
Oh, you name it. Tomorrow I'm doing a classic rock. I'm doing the classic rock morning show. I do mid mornings on an all 80s station. I actually record. So I'm actually on right now in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. I do overnights, midnight to 6.
Oh, wow.
60s station, all 60s music.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Man. Also, you love CCR too, then.
In fact, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I played Hey Tonight, the first song at midnight. I think it's 2 a.m. in St. John, but yeah.
You know, I tell you, I was just going to ask you about CCR. I wish you had. Do you have any ends where we can actually play some music and not get demonetized?
Oh, geez.
Oh my!
Do you know how much? Do you know how much it costs me in royalties, my friend? Boy,
Oh, I bet
the government milks me for everything.
Wow.
And it's the same here on the internet. I've seen you guys joking about it a few times on this show. Geez, you play a little snippet, they'll shut you down.
They shut you
Right.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. They shut
don't
us
play.
down.
They
They'll give
know,
you a grant.
man.
You can come back in 30 days. Don't do it again. Like, geez, bunch of
Exactly.
kids, right? Oh, come on. Yeah.
Well,
But
this
anyway,
is
I was
great.
talking to Eric, Dan. I was talking to Eric about some of the things we talked about earlier this evening.
Yeah. Right.
And
okay.
how this team tries to win with gimmicks. You know, we need a pitcher. We got to play our better players all the time. I don't like this. It works lefty righty in situational baseball, not the way the
Right.
Giants. Not the way the Giants. You know what they bring to the table. on a daily
Situations
basis.
for them. Situations for them is anywhere from the first at bat in the first inning to the pinch hitting for a guy in the third or fourth inning.
Well, Dan, hasn't the game? You know, you're talking about the Expos. Hasn't the game changed from when we were watching it in the late 70s, or I was a big fan when I was a kid, 70s,
Oh, yeah.
80s? I wonder how many of those Expos pitchers, Gullickson, Rogers, how many, if you look back in the stats, those guys were into double digits complete games.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's totally-
absolutely.
How many
Even
complete games did the Giants have last year? It's just off the top.
less
I'm
than
gonna guess
less
one.
than three? I think
it's one.
I think
Is
it was
it?
Logan Webb one. Cobb, no. Did Cobb get there, or did he?
I thought he finished the game, didn't he?
Maybe he did. There was one or two. That was it. I think Webb had one the last game of the first before the All-Star game.
Okay, so two then. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game has changed. And it started a few years ago, playoff baseball. You get 2 solid innings and you're out of here. That happened. There was a big stink up here. I'm working in Canada right now before I head down to spring training next week. And there was a big stink. You guys must know about it there in the playoffs. The Blue Jays in Minnesota, and the pitcher was rocking. And the call came from management upstairs, said, all right, he's coming out. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Jays fan. I don't know the players' names.
Oh, it happened
off
in
the top of my head, but-
the 2020 World Series. Blake Snell was shutting down the Dodgers in game 5 or 6. Dodgers could not even hit the ball, even foul. They couldn't tip it. Kevin Cash comes out, takes him out, and the Dodgers were the dugout. They said they were so ecstatic. They go, okay, now we got it. And
it can change a game.
Oh yeah.
For the competition, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's too often that it's almost like the game is overmanaged right now.
Yes. I think you're correct. I think there's too much micromanaging going on in the game. Just let the guys go out there and play, right?
All because of guys like Farhan that started all this analytics to the point. Analytics have always been a part of the game, but they've taken it to a level where they rely on it for everything. They don't look at the I factor, the situation, what's happening. They don't say, oh, well, look, this guy's just completely dominating this guy. Their swings are off balance. Every time they come up, they don't have a chance, and they pull him because, oh, wait, we can't put him in because it's the third time through, you know?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So, but so Hey Tonight is the opening song. Is that the go-to every night at midnight?
No,
Hey
that just
Tonight?
happened to be what came up on my show at midnight. And now it's 11:40, 12:48. It's almost 2 a.m. in New Brunswick. So I've already been on for 2 hours. And like I say, I taped that show around 10. I heard you mention off the top, Glenn should come in. Northern Lights.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I was tied up at that time being.
No
And then
worries.
I tried to get in here, guys. You know, my whatever I have on this Mac, it wouldn't let me. I had to download Firefox and I had to get shenanigans.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
I
this
love
is
the
cool.
jersey, though.
I'm in
Los-
the media
Los
for a
would
living. I
be,
get to talk, yap, but I never do this on screen stuff. This is pretty cool.
It's
Technology
fun,
really
isn't it?
come a long way.
I love the interaction that we can have when people come on. It's fantastic.
Los would love your jersey. He's a big Jung Hoo Lee fan, and I hope he does well because I'm not a guy that goes out and buys jerseys a lot, but I would get Jung Hoo Lee.
I've got my replicas We've got 37 now.
Wow.
And in fact, I am a Flores guy. So I've got Flores. I've got his Mets jerseys, each one he wore.
Oh,
And then I've got his Arizona, and I've got all of his San Francisco Giants.
yeah.
Wow.
Wilmer's a great guy. In fact, I don't think we did an interview with him last year. Did we, Eric? Did I have an interview with Flores
No,
last
you
year?
never did get an
You
interview
know-
with Flores.
I didn't.
Now,
Because
I was telling Dan,
he's Spanish speaking.
I work up here in Winnipeg right now. I go back and forth so often, literally air miles, just do. But so I live a block from Oracle. I have a condo a block from the ballpark, which is sweet. So I'm able to
I was just gonna say,
final pitch.
wow.
final pitch of the game, and I'm right home to NorCal Sports for the post game show every night last year. Great way to spend the post game. Better than,
There you go.
dare I say,
That we will
radio.
make into a short right there.
That is
better-
exactly. That will be cut into a short.
Better than
Exactly.
local
After
radio
the
down
Giants
there,
go,
but
straight to NorCal. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
it's
Mark it, 117.
one of the guys I used to run into after the game, or sometimes during the game. I'd be out for a coffee down the street at the Starbucks location over by Safeway. And you know who walks to the ballpark and walks home after the game? Is another great guy, JD
Mike
Davis.
Kruko. Oh, JD
Oh,
Davis.
JD.
Kruko
Okay.
has his little scooter.
Yeah.
They scoot him right home after the little black scooters flies by. Go, oh, there's Mike.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. JD Davis. That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
So you're
JD.
pretty
You
close
guys had a
to-
good interview with Schmidt too. He was a good kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was fantastic, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that kid. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
said
is
to,
awesome.
did you see my post up the other night? I said that I know quite a few guys who do this sort of a thing, the online, and they take it pretty serious, and they do NASCAR. And boy, NASCAR has them in for I know one guy, Eric Eastep. He just was at Daytona for 3 races on the weekend. Media credentials. Dan, you're getting bamboozled, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that earlier.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
No,
No.
me and you and I are, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Giants have, they don't like.
I think
the
they
fact-
must have seen the show.
Oh, yeah. They definitely
Oh
do, so.
yeah.
Yeah. No, they are. Yeah, they told me don't letting anybody in from YouTube. They got to draw the line. Yet, I know other YouTubers are letting in. So
We'll
It
leave it
is-
at that.
we'll leave it
Yeah,
at that.
it's you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
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 And that's
You know what's
fine.
going on.
That's fine.
So
We're still gonna do our thing. We're not gonna change
yeah.
what we're doing.
Hey, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest to myself or to anybody out there in the chat. I'm not going to tell you it's sunshine and it's sunny skies. It's bright. Everything looks great when there's clouds on the horizon and there's rain clouds on its way. Because I'm just not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you what I think. I might be wrong, just like a weatherman can be wrong at times. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty accurate. I was accurate last year. Said this team is not going to be, finish well. And I'm right now. I don't like the looks of this team. I think it's a 75 to 80 win ball club right now. As
I agree.
sits. It could change.
I think it would change if he had pitching. I still say we don't. You can't win with this pitching staff we've got
No, they don't have
on a
pitching.
consistent basis. You
Yes.
can roll out a couple of wins here, and this guy gets a couple of wins. Harrison pick up a win here, and
Yeah.
this bullpen crap. I'm telling you, this is just not the way baseball is meant to be played.
Right.
No,
I
it's not.
swear that if Farhan had his way, we'd have one starting pitcher, and this would Jesus, great. Don't you think so? He proved it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
When
got a
Cobb
point.
went down, I think Webb was all we had in the starting rotation.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Chris Addy says, Dan, do you think we are a better team than last year? I think on the field of play, the position players, DH, I think they look a little bit stronger, but they are weaker than in pitching. You
Yes,
got
they
Logan
are.
Webb,
Yes.
and that's it. I love Kyle Harrison. He's got great potential. I hope he makes it big time, but he's unproven. And so and Jordan Hicks has started 5 games in his career, and he's never gone into the 5th inning but one time in his entire career. And guess who that was against? The Giants, because they were swinging and missing at everything. So I don't like that idea of. I don't think it pans out. I hope it does. Hopefully Hicks finds himself. Hey, and Keaton Wynn does well, and Tristan Beck. But these guys, it's not that easy, guys, to just go from the minor leagues to the majors and dominate. So I think this is a team that could have a lot of 3 and 4 game losing streaks. A lot of 3 and 4 game. When you don't have the shutdown pitching, and if Logan Webb has an off day or they don't get any run support for him and they lose 1-0 because they can't hit, you're going to see some 5-6 game losing streaks. And, that's my concern. That's my concern. They may be able to score more runs this year, but I don't know if they can hold other teams down.
Boys, there were a lot of nights that I came back and watched your show, and like I say, I go to a lot of games over at the ballpark, living next door. It's great,
right?
But there were a lot of days over there. I'd come home, I'd be, geez, how are we supposed to? I was at 3 games in a row. I'll look it up next time I chat with you guys through the messenger here. I'll find out the 3 games we were at because I got all the ticket stubs. There was a 3-game period on Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. And in those 3 games, one of the games we had 2 hits. Next game we had 2 hits. Next game we had 3 hits. How do you win like that?
Right. I remember that.
7 hits in a 3-game span.
Yeah.
And not to go on and on about my guy Wilmer, but there was a stretch last year in a 30-day period. It was around July. If you guys remember, it had to be July, maybe early August. He was 1 and Ohtani was 2. He was the hottest hitter in baseball. I go on Thursday. I show up at Oracle Park Thursday night. Got my Flores jersey on. I got my beer, my cold refreshment, and I'm like, where is he? Oh, he's on the bench tonight. Like,
yeah, Glenn, I brought this up on the show last year. He hit 4 home runs in a series against Cincinnati. They go to Washington, and they're facing a right-handed pitcher, and Flores has just dominated that 4-game series or 3 or 4 games against Cincinnati, just smoking the ball over. Kapler sits him for 2 nights.
You're out of here.
Yeah. We ripped him really hard. And you know what? I think word got back because they started playing Flores again after that because it was like, oh, wait.
It was right after the break. After the break.
Right. I couldn't even believe it. Why would you?
And I'm not putting him up there. I'm not putting him up there and some of our other players in the pedestal of, like a guy like Ohtani or a Judge or any that. That's ridiculous. But I said before you came on, Dan, I said to Eric here, I said, can you imagine going to Yankee Stadium on any given day and you pay your big bucks, you bring your whole family and they go, oh, Judge, it's righty lefty. So Judge isn't playing today. You play your best players. That's just my philosophy. You play your best players.
Right.
And I also said my closing comment, maybe I got to get out of here soon, but I said to Eric in the chat, I said, how do you get consistency when you play on Monday, you play on Thursday, the next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Like, you're not, when you're hot, how do you stay hot? When you're not hot, how do you get into the rhythm? I tell you, this is a total mismanagement. We got to change. The whole culture of this organization's got to change, and it starts on the field, boys. It starts with what we're doing on the field. You got to get these players out there. You got to let them play, let them swing the bat, got to bring the pitchers in, and there you go. And I'm going to win my fantasy league.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, you should. Hey, there you go. Are you still looking for fantasy players?
Hey, I need a fantasy. I am not in a league. If you guys, I was going to mention that. I said you guys should have a league.
They're trying to put it together a league. We're trying to. Put together
come on, Dan.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to join. I won our fantasy football league, so maybe I'm just going to rest on that. I'm gearing up for next year.
Oh, I love ball far too much. I got to get in on a fantasy league.
Yeah, it's fun. We had a great league.
I'll tell you one thing, guys. I can make you one promise. If I'm in a fantasy league, either with you guys or somewhere else, I'll have more than one starting pitcher. I guarantee it.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, you guys can finish up. I am going to step out. I'm getting ready to go on the Krug show here in a couple minutes. I got to grab a cup of coffee here. I keep myself going.
People said in the chat he was kind of going off again tonight.
Larry?
Yeah.
Earlier in the show.
I guess he has a live doing football, and I guess he had a moment with Coach, supposedly.
With Coach.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure exactly what it's about, but I saw people talking about it in the chat.
Hey, somebody put it in the chat, the minute mark. I'll go check that out.
I don't know if anyone has that.
So
somebody gave us a bad timestamp yesterday. Senior,
yeah. He was only an hour off. Don't worry, Senior. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be on the Krug Show here in about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to be discussing the Warriors-Lakers post-game show. So it should be a good show over there.
Looking forward to it. I'll hop on. Or Eric, are you doing a show tonight?
With my
military?
MHC? No, I'll be doing that on Saturday.
I'll be there as well.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate that.
Very educational.
Oh, I appreciate that. We had a show yesterday. I don't know if you knew.
I missed that. I thought you guys. I didn't understand it. You were. I had to get up early.
Thank you, Matthew.
I've been up since 5 a.m. Big difference between me and Dan. You can tell I've been up since 5 a.m.
Hey, but at least you got some hair there.
There you go.
A lot more hair than Dano.
Oh my goodness!
There you go. Yeah.
I keep it hidden in the hat.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
I like it.
My wife says, you're going to go on with those guys. You're getting a haircut. I'm like, oh, geez.
That's funny.
At my age, I just want to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I say, I got a face for radio, so they don't give me much television time up here.
All right. Matthew said he was kidding with that time, Eric. So yeah. All right, man. Hey, great to see you, Glenn. And
Thanks, Dan.
We'll chat the next day or two.
Yeah, we got to talk about business proposals, right?
Yes. There we go.
There we go. Awesome.
Look forward to it.
All right. Hey, everybody, check out Northern Lights too. Share your website, and we'll be talking more. But I will see you guys soon. But I've got to jump over to get ready to get on to the Krug Show.
Sounds good, Dan.
All right. Hey, thanks. See you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Thanks,
hey, you got a question there, Northern Lights. It says, "Are you a deadhead?"
You mean the Grateful Dead?
Yep.
We talking the Dead?
Yep.
It must be the hair, the gray hair, right? I went to those last 3 shows at Oracle last summer. I went to all 3 shows.
Wow.
That was even at my age, that was a little intense, wasn't it? Have you been to a Grateful Dead show?
I've never been to a Grateful Dead concert.
Oh, geez, those guys are boy, I'll tell you, talk about diehards. But they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about who's starting pitching, right? It's like just you show up, great concert. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to sound my first time like it's sour grapes or anything on here, Eric. But boy, oh
that's
boy,
what we are about this on this channel. We're all sour grapes, but we try to have fun. You see how we.
Well, the one thing about me, Eric, and about you, and I think Dan, even if we suck, I come back for more.
Yeah, we're a glutton for punishment, right?
I love our team, man. I love our team. I just, I'll tell you. What do you think about Pablo back?
Oh,
doesn't he look chiseled?
This is the best he's ever looked.
Wow.
He was with the Giants, from 2008 until when he left after 2014.
Giving Matos a run for his money.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I saw him. I saw a clip of him on television. I think it was a KNBR clip today on YouTube.
Yeah.
And boy, I said, he had to look twice.
Yeah.
Guy looks like he's lost about 40 pounds, isn't he? And it's muscle, like he's chiseled.
He's gotten some muscle. Yeah, he's definitely, he's a late bloomer. He's 37. He finally got it together. But hey, yeah, that's great. If he can compete and be able to compete at that level at that age, I mean, all the credit.
Is he coming out of camp?
I don't think so.
Dude, the way this, nothing would surprise me.
Nothing would surprise me. To me, I kind of think it's more of a PR kind of thing. Try to get the fan base excited, because the fan base right now, let's be honest, the fan base, I think there's some pushback going on.
Plus, where do you put him? Where are you going to put him?
You're going to put him. You're going to what? You're going to say JD Davis? No. Casey Schmidt? Nope.
Yeah, we're not talking about a guy who can squeeze in, send somebody to the minors, like, and that's why I touched on earlier about these, a lot of your chatters, and even myself earlier in the weeks leading into the preseason here, talking about signing players. I'm like, we don't need to sign you're wanting to. Some of our viewers, they want to fill holes where there is no hole. There may be questions, but there aren't holes.
Right. And that's what's concerning, is because it's like, what are you going to do?
You're either going to have to trade about 7 players and like kind of do a quick rebuild right now, or you just got to go with what we've got. Right. You don't have to agree with me, but that's just my 2 cents worth.
No, that makes sense to an extent. You kind of have to, right? Mm-hmm. But I think there's some guys they can move off of. Slater. Yes.
Well, I said to you, there's a lot of rumors up here in Canada that he's going to end up a Blue Jay.
Who, Yaz?
There's rumors that Slater.
Interesting.
Oh, there was rumors out of Toronto maybe 2-3 days ago that don't be surprised if you see him in Toronto. And that wouldn't surprise me, actually.
Well, and Joey Bart is still out there too. I mean, he's in camp, but he doesn't have any more options. So
another situation where he's not in the same situation perhaps as the Panda. But what do you do with Bart?
What do you do with him? Because you signed Tom Murphy, the other the backup catcher.
It's almost like we crap on them a lot. It's almost like they got too much depth, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's all that. The problem is it's depth for depth's sake. It's not depth for talent.
Yeah, I know. Right? Some of these players, when I look at the roster and I like to look at the stats. I like to sit down. Mm-hmm. That's why I like sometimes you guys bring up the stats head to head. Bring up guys projected over 162. But there's a lot of guys. I said to Dan on our private call earlier, I said, you watch Haniger go out and hit 38 home runs this year. The guy was hurt. The guy never had a chance. Joey Bart, has he really had a chance to solidify in there? A down couple of weeks. Has he had a chance to bounce back? This guy has not had a chance in this organization.
You could say the same with Ramos.
Yeah. Oh, I said Ramos is a guy. Again, I don't like to put the guys up on this big pedestal. Mm-hmm. Remember Ken Griffey Jr., an 18-year-old? Mm-hmm. And they said, the guy's going to play.
Right.
The guy is a baller. The guy's going to play. Mm-hmm. It's another thing the Giants do too often with the Barts and the younger players, the Lucianos. Oh, he needs another year in the minors. I'm like, Jesus, how many years in the minors does he need?
I know.
He's either in or he's like.
Right. They're going to have to produce. And me and Dan talked about this earlier. If some of these young guys are not producing, the Giants are going to be in a bad shape. If Luciano and Matos and, if Bailey starts scuffling or Casey does, you got a lot. Because you got to build within, right? And if you can't build within, you're going to be in a tough position because, again, you just cannot go buy every free agent out there. That's not a winning.
And we don't have, even though we do have a lot of depth on the bench, not a lot of room for error, is there?
No, there's not. Good point.
There's just not a lot of room for error. Right. You start the season, like I say, we talked about, or my message to you, you guys touched on it on one of my messages the other night. You got 4, I beg your pardon, 4 in San Diego and 3 in LA to start the year. Jeez, it's either going to be good or real bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking 2 and 5. Jeez, it could be like 1 and 6.
If they come out of LA 1 and 6, oh man, you're gonna love the post game shows.
It's frightening. It really is frightening.
And then I think,
and I'm not going to kid. We're not going to kid ourselves. Oh, they're going into LA. We're like, we'll take 2 or 3 or a sweep. Oh, boy, just got to be realistic.
Correct.
Our big start has to be in San Diego. We got to take even winning 500 baseball, 2 wins there. You're still looking at 2 or 3 wins to start the season on the road. That's a tough start.
Right. I think they can,
especially when these teams, you're going to be losing to the teams you got to beat in the standings.
Yes, correct. Because that's with your own division. So I think they can split San Diego to LA. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm still excited.
I'm still excited because I love the game of baseball. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the game of baseball. But you also, you got to see what these other teams are doing. You know, everything's not happening in the vacuum of San Francisco. You got to see what other teams are doing as well. Because I think the Giants, and there was a lot of hype last year, of course, you know, the Giants may make the playoffs, and it's because other teams had down years. And if you're not seeing what other teams are doing in relation to what the Giants are performing at, whew.
Eric, I think there's a few situations where, you know, we gripe about Farhan, but Farhan really has not used the word aggressive in his vocabulary at all. Because earlier in the show, before I jumped in, I was tidying up some more work I had to get done for tomorrow on the morning show. And you said, and I saw this online today, that Senga starts the season on the disabled list. You say, watch them go out and get a pitcher. Well, we need a pitcher, but there's not the aggressiveness. Oh, geez, we got to get a pitcher. These are teams that Senga's okay. What's our next plan of it? There is no plan of attack, is there?
Correct. That's a great point. And Dan even brought that up yesterday. If the Giants were in the position where the Dodgers are, they got Ohtani, Yamamoto, traded for Glasnow. You get Teoscar Hernandez and trade for Margot. Say you do all that. You think the Dodgers are going to sit by and just, like you said, not have a plan? Of course they're going to have a plan, and they're going to execute it because, again, like you said, the A word, they're aggressive. And you have to be in this sport. You have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind.
Maybe tomorrow when I'm finished my work and I'm doodling around here on the internet, I'm going to look up. Be interesting to see how many moves, like roster moves, signings. You put the whole kit and caboodle together. I wonder how many since, say, even if you want to go back December 1st. We're getting into free agency. Things are starting to happen. So we'll look at December 1st to now. How many moves have the Dodgers made?
A lot.
Compared to the Giants.
They've made a lot, not only in free agent, but also in trading.
Trades, free agency. They've literally built. You talk about building our farm club.
Yep.
Dodgers build their farm club overnight through trades.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely. You know why? Because what they do is, and I've said this before, is they know how to draft, but not. I think they got the right attitude. I can't wait until Ned Coletti comes back on because I'm going to ask him this. When you're drafting and you're developing guys, as an organization, you got to know what guys are going to be the ones who are going to be difference makers for our club, and which ones are going to be good that I could use as trade capital. Because that's how trades get done, right? Everything. If you look at anytime you get trades, that's the organization's number 2 pick, and he's number 45 on the top 100, whatever it may be. They may not equal anything, but guess what? You use them as your currency to acquire legitimate MLB capital or players.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to do it. You got to be able to draft not only for your own organization, but be able to use them to trade to get the players that you need.
I also think there's been a gross misrepresentation of how good some of our good minor league players are.
Yes.
When we should have cut bait with them before well, you know what? Maybe there's still a little interest from this team or this team, Miami, Tampa. We can unload them. I think they put them on a pedestal. The Giants, look at the pitching over the last 10 years. How many players we've drafted and we've developed in the minor league. Where are they now?
Yeah, exactly.
But they were gonna be, wait till you see this guy play Major League Baseball.
Right.
Where are they now?
Tyler Beatty. I mean, those guys were hyped. Christian Arroyo.
Kyle Crick's rookie card was about $100 now. They give him in kids packs for free.
Yeah, it's true.
It is.
You don't know until they get to the big club. Because when they're prospects, You don't know. You have expectations, you got hopes, but until they come into a major league ballpark, all bets are off. You hope that there's something there. There's few and far between are there prospects that go, you know what? Like you said with Ken Griffey Jr., okay, yep, this guy's gonna be special. It's few and far between. You got to be able to draft and you got to be able to develop. That's when I harp on this all the time. 3 things, draft, develop, trade, and free agency. If you're working all those 3 in a coordinated effort, man, you're cooking with gas.
Yeah, and you can't mismanage them either. You talk about a couple of our outfielders there, Matos,
Ramos.
They're up. They're down. They're up. They're down. Ramos, I thought, should have been playing before this. See what you got. Keep him. He's a staple, or we move on. But I don't think they're any further ahead with some of these young players than they were 3, 4, even 5 years ago.
Right. Right.
You know, you guys touched on it quite a bit. There's a lot of players on this club that Farhan missed. Farhan didn't take advantage of a situation when we were losing our 30 odd games last year. He didn't take advantage of the opportunity. You know, Jesus, we're even if we get into the play, we sneak into the playoffs. We're not going anywhere. This is my opportunity right now. We've won 6 out of 22. Play these guys, run the gamut with them, see what we got. Then we move ahead to next year. We pay it forward. We know who to get rid of. We know where we stand. And I think that's a problem with this organization. We never know where we stand from 1 week to the next, 1 year to the next. And I think it's upstairs. As much as it's not on the field, this is all coming upstairs, boys.
Absolutely. Then you got to put the blame where the blame's, due. It's upstairs. It's front office. It's ownership.
No doubt about it. Cardiac arrest here. Time to call it a night. Hey, thanks for letting me come in. I had a whole lot of fun doing this tonight.
Hey, you bet. Hey, you're welcome anytime. Awesome.
I really appreciate that. I love to talk Giants baseball. I love to talk, as my wife would say. So.
Oh, same here. I could talk forever.
All right. I'm looking forward to the next show.
And you're military? My next show is going to be Saturday evening.
Okay.
I'll probably stay around maybe 8 o'clock Pacific.
I'll post a few messages in there, get the juices flowing, and boy, you got a lot to talk about, don't you? You could do a lot of shows just about what's going on down below the 49th parallel, just in the political scene right now.
Oh my gosh, so much.
It's crazy. I like when you get into the Civil War stuff, to be honest. I watched some of your older videos where I'm new to that particular show through NorCal. Okay. In the last week, I've watched half a dozen of your older posted up. That's a great thing about this YouTube. You can go back and you miss a show. Tomorrow after work, I can just pop on and see, what did he talk about the military show? What did the boys have to say when I went to bed? That's great.
Yeah, I love it. YouTube is just a fantastic medium to be able to just put out a whole bunch of cool stuff. I love it.
All right, stay classy, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon.
All right, take it easy, Glenn.
And you got to tell me, you cut me off here, or how the hell do I get out of here?
I can cut you off, and then you just exit out, and I'll get you out of here. All right, have a good one, Glenn.
Good night, and thanks.
You bet. See you. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that was Glenn. Northern Lights. Yeah, fantastic. Man, that was great. Man, was his speaking voice butter. Oh, fantastic, man. That was great. I like that. He lives in Winnipeg, I think. That's what he said, Senior. I think he lives in Winnipeg. But that was fantastic. I really appreciate him coming on. That is great. Hear another perspective. That's what you want to hear, right? You want to hear you want to hear from excited Giants fans. All we want them to do is to go out there and compete. Get out there and say, you know what? Our goal isn't to make a wild. Our goal is to go out there and win the World Series. Come on. That's all we want as fans. And you got to do that every single year. You don't rest on your laurels. You got to keep getting after it, right, guys? Keep getting after it. That is the point of owning a baseball team. Don't rest on your laurels. Get after it. Every year. I don't care if we won 10 in a row. It's still not good enough. Go win 11. You got to keep after it, guys. As soon as you start resting on your laurels, then that's when what do you want to call it? Not want to succeed starts festering in. You start taking the easy way. It's hard to win, right? It's hard to win. I'm not going to sit there and say that it's easy. It's hard. But you know what? You got to get out there and do it. And that's why fans are paying top dollar for baseball these days. Are we paying top dollar to go out there and, hope that they make a wild card? No, come on. You owe it to the fans, right? And you owe it to, baseball. Go out there and put out a good product. All right, Johnny T asking, Eric, do you think we're better defensively this year? Yeah, not only did we lead the league in errors, I think we also lead the league in fielding percentage. I don't know. Are we better defensively? We don't know. I don't know yet. Johnny, I can't answer that question. Complacency. Thank you, Matthew. That's the word I was looking for. Complacency. And it festers. And it just rots out your organization. There you go. I don't care if we lose every game as long as I'm entertained. There you go. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right? Entertainment. But I want to win. But yes, baseball, it's all about entertainment, right? Professional sports, when you get down to the common denominator, it's entertainment, right? Not much different than wrestling. Wrestling's entertainment. The only difference is this is, on the field of play with professional sports, and you want your team to win. I like to win. But as far as the defense, you know what? Where have we really improved defensively? You can't say center field yet, right, guys? The jury's still out. We can't say it's center field. We don't know what type of defense that Jung-Hoo Lee is going to bring for the San Francisco Giants in center field. We don't know. And then that's the whole. Now it's the rest of the team is the rest, right? The team is the same as last year. So have we improved defensively? I'm going to say no. We have not improved defensively. Will players that are currently on the team have better defensive years than last year? That's possible. 1 year to the next, could change. But right now, man, it looks like nothing has changed for me. We'll see. And one thing, even though Patrick Bailey was a fantastic catcher, he had a lot of pass balls last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a stat out there where he led the league in pass balls. So that's something that he's probably going to want to work on. And if I'm not mistaken, I see a lot of people in the chat were saying that he's gained a few limbs, LBSs. Is that muscle or is it fat? I don't know. You guys are going to have to tell me that. I'm not sure on. On paper, okay, I could go with that. On paper, he should. Now, a little bit different, playing outdoors most of the time, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. Even veteran outfielders have tough time in Oracle Park, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's muscle. Okay, good. That's a good sign. Hopefully, that muscle is in his legs, right? Isn't that where you want your core to be top notch as a catcher? That's what I'm guessing. Bailey lost 15 pounds last year. Oh, you mean throughout? Okay, are you saying that he lost it through season? He lost, yeah. He was getting ran into the ground. That's his first season, in the big leagues. I'm sure he's probably preparing for it this year. That's good. Got it. Okay. Bailey's offense is bad too. Yeah, he started suffering. Don't get me wrong, it was just like with Schmidt when they first came up, they were popping the ball all over the place. But yeah, he started to wane. But again, this is the first time this is their first rodeo in the major leagues. So, they came up hot, the league adjusted to them. Now it's their job to adjust to what the league is adjusting to them. If that makes sense. Hey, Eric, I'm going to tweet out the KNBR Murph show. Oh, hold on. Here, I just could. Is it just KNBR, right? Well, yeah, just send me the tweet so then I know which one to look for. Or no, send me a message so that I know what tweet to find. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, he'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping. All right. What do we got here? Yeah, I agree. Lee needs a lot of practice in center field in Oracle Park. I heard there were some question marks on his arm. If his arm's going to be strong enough, we'll find out. We'll find out. Casey interview. Yeah, maybe we'll have to get into that. Now here, let me just bring up. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up good old KNBR. Oh, there's Pablo. Wow. let's check this out. Here we go, guys. Let me give some courtesies up here just to be safe, because who knows. And it's not .com. Here we go. A couple of interviews here. All right. All right, here you go. Here's Pablo.
Start, I guess, before we get into the nostalgia and twin all the 3 World Series home runs and all that. The funny story that Farhan Zaidi told of you, he had to sign you because he had no iPhone storage left because you kept sending him videos. This is a true story now. You were sending him videos?
Yes. I was sending a video after I had a great conversation. I came back from Dubai, played the Baseball United League, and I got conversation. I sit down with my kid and went like, Dad, you still here. You can play 2 more years. And we start working out together. I start working out with my son. I start sending a video to Farhan, and Farhan started going like, man, you think you think is serious? You want to do Romo thing, or what you want to do? And like, you know what? I just wanted the opportunity to be back, and I show you after.
Hey, interesting, huh? That's the best I've ever seen Pablo look, and he's 37 years old. That's pretty. That's weird. That's wild, right? What is going on? This he's in better shape than he was when he was with his first stint with the Giants. What happened? Wow, interesting. Sounds like he doesn't want to do the Romo thing. He wants to play. Pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. Matt Williams. I don't know if you guys want to listen to some Matt Williams. What do we got here? More Pablo. Eric Jung-Hoo Lee. There's Soler. There's Kyle. Guess we can listen to Kyle. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me see which one I got here. Where's it at? How come I don't see it? Oh, that's why. Oh, you got it on YouTube. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. I'm gonna pause it. Here, let me go find it in let me go find it in Twitter here. It'd be much easier and cause less pain for the channel. On KMBR. Senior, click the, yeah, because I know it gets into the live broadcast, right? Is it the Casey Schmidt interview you wanted to listen to? Which one exactly was it? Because I could find, because they got a little snip. I don't mind playing like a minute or so. That's not so bad. You start getting more than that, then they get a little bit funny. Yeah, Kyle Harris. There's Bailey. Guess we can listen to Bailey. You guys want to listen to Bailey? Here, let's listen to Bailey. Here we go.
And obviously, you experienced the marathon of a full MLB season last year. And I know there were times where you dealt with a little bit of fatigue. Now, one thing that we've already noticed this morning is you're a little thicker this year, put on a little bit of extra weight. How much is that based on what you experienced last year at the major league level and having that extra stamina for the full 162?
For sure. I mean, it's all because of that. I lost 15 to 17 pounds last year during the season, and I kind of felt it
Mhm.
And one of my biggest goals this off season was to not have that happen as much this year, and to gain the weight that I lost. And I ended up gaining about 20 pounds, and feel good. This is probably the best I've felt ever coming into spring. So I'm excited, and I got to do a better job this season, keeping my weight on in the strength.
Yeah, and you mentioned your breakfast coming up earlier this morning. What is that like? Is it all meal planning you're doing to add this extra weight? Is it weight room? Like, what's the plan of attack to put on these extra pounds?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of both. I mean, you don't want it to just be meal planning. You want it to be some muscle and some weight gain in that area for sure. But for me, like my rookie year, I think with all the adrenaline and stuff, for some reason I struggled eating when I was at the field. And the food's incredible, so that's never the
Makes no
problem.
sense, yes.
No, it doesn't.
But-
But yeah, that was the issue. So I'm hoping this year it'll be easier.
Did I read there's 1,000-calorie shake left at your locker? Is that right?
Yeah, when I was down a couple of times, we'd figure out whatever way we could to get calories in me, and it definitely got better at keeping the weight on towards the end of the year.
All right, there you go. Kind of explains what's going on with his weight gain or muscle, building up his muscle. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. I think that was it for that right now. Well, wait, here we go. Here. Friend of the show.
It's funny. We were talking off air before the interview started of our last interview with Matt Williams, and how he said it was like looking in the mirror. I said the only difference is, Casey, you got a mustache, Matt doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend. So
Well, let's start there. It is those of us who remember Matt Williams' career, it's eerie, the parallels. A third baseman with soft hands who can play a little short, also a guy with some natural power, and a guy who's got all the talent and prospects in the world who just has a little bit of an adjustment period in the big leagues. And it's you and it's him. So have you guys talked about that?
yeah, he's told me that he's seen himself in me. So that's really cool to kind of get that comparison. Yeah, but I've just been working with him. I mean, out there on the field, and during spring training, get a chance to go in and talk to him, and talk through some stuff. But I mean, like the adjustment period, I feel like it definitely, there was an adjustment period last year, and I feel really good right now with where I'm at.
He said you are supremely confident on defense. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so I would say I'm pretty confident over there.
It's fun.
All right. There you go. I like that. Feels confident. Yeah, there is a Matt Williams here. You guys want to watch a Matt Williams here? The last one will be the Matt Williams one. It was up here. Hold on one sec. Oh, there, Kyle Harrison. Where the heck was it? Was it Matt Williams here a minute ago? Did I pass it? There it is. Here we go.
The voice you hear is Matt Williams, the legendary Giant from the Hum Baby days, who, of course, then traded away famously. And Brian Sabian still has to wear that one.
It wasn't a bad deal, though. You guys got Jeff. It was pretty good.
It was a crazy time. And Brian Sabian had to come on KMBR and say, "I am not an idiot." Remember that famous quote there?
Yeah, I think the trade worked out pretty well for the Giants.
And anyway, a long and winding road, a wonderful career. And then obviously you and Bob Melvin returned to wear the black and orange. Was there anything I mean, you've been around baseball a long time. It's a job. It's a business. Was there any romance to putting on the jersey
Oh,
again?
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of where you go in this game, regardless of what happens to you in this game, it's really important where you started. So somebody asked me a question the other day. I loved playing in Cleveland. We won a world championship in Arizona. I coached for a number of different franchises. I went to South Korea and managed. Deep in all of that, I still bleed black and orange, man. It's going to be the way it is.
Mhm.
It's because I started there. Al Rosen gave me great chances time and time again. I learned from great mentors and Roger and Mike Krukow and Chris Spire. Dusty taught me how to hit. All of those things is really deep in my soul. So yeah, I do bleed black and orange.
I like the sound of that. I like that. Right? I like that. That is something that you like to hear, That is cool. That's the romance of baseball. Love that stuff. Love that stuff. That's hearing that kind of gives you that that warm feeling in the pit of your stomach, right? Like, oh yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Let's hope they can have some success. That's all we want. We want them to have success. But it's up to the people in the in baseball operations and ownership to give them the tools to be able to, or give them the talent to be able to have some success. We'll see what happens. All right. What else we got in here before we close this out? Put on some music here. We're going to get ready to close it down. Not going to put on the fun music. That was pretty good, though. Dan about lost it when I was playing that music. All right, here we go. The Bub Rad says the Giants have already seen an average attendance drop of 11 to 12,000 per game under Farhan. Whew. That's tough, man. That's tough. Now, is it going to affect them financially? Yeah, to an extent. But they're doing that Mission Rock, so I don't think they're going to miss it too much. But it tells you where the fan base is going. It's not going in the right direction. You want fan interest, not fan disinterest. I think that's the biggest issue right there. All right, what else we got in here before we get out of here? Why can't he stop? Yeah, I know. I noticed that with Bailey, man. That guy kept moving around in his seat. Maybe just nerves. Maybe he doesn't like being interviewed. All right, what else we got? Anyone else? All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. It was kind of a solo, but thanks to Glenn, Northern Lights, man, that was awesome. He came into the show, kind of gave us his thoughts on what he thought about the Giants and baseball in general. It was awesome. Dan came in a couple of times because, he was kind of taking a night off, kind of, but he's going to go and do some Warriors post game. I'm pretty sure they're probably already on right now over there at Larry's channel. Howard's got a question that says, "Hey, Eric, I got a question. When was Agent Warriors used in Vietnam? My uncle did 9 tours there." Wow. 9 tours? Is that correct? 9? I don't know when they started using it, but my dad told me about it. He got sprayed with it. He said he used to love getting sprayed by Ancient Orange. And he says because it would cool him off when you're out there and and because it was a tropical climate, temperate forest, whatever you want to say, jungle. And so anything that cooled him off, hey, he loved it. But yeah, when it started being used, I'd have to look it up. You probably could find out just as much as I could by Googling it. Not sure when it exactly started. Eric, this would have been a perfect episode to do a teaser lead for MHC at the end. Shows do it all the time. Yeah, guys, if you want to check out my channel, Military History Chronicles, we get into a whole bunch of different things. I try to stay on military history, but when you're talking military history, you also get into you got to get into politics. I know a lot of people don't like to talk politics, but there's politics to it, and of course diplomatic and foreign policy. But we get on some other issues too, kind of what it would affect military history. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, go subscribe. I try to put out 2 episodes a week, usually midweek, weekend, somewhere around there. It also depending on what's happening out in the real world, I may have a surprise show and talk about it. Perfect example. Yesterday I had Los and Dan. Will be. He's always on there with me as a co-host because it's nice to bounce off with someone else. And yesterday we talked about presidents with military experience. There's a lot of presidents with military experience, but we focused on 3: Washington, Ulysses S. Grant, and good old Teddy Roosevelt. We didn't spend much time on Teddy Roosevelt, man. I spent a lot of time on Grant yesterday because that's kind of my wheelhouse. I love American Civil War, so I love talking about that, and of course, kind of what the current events of what's going on today. So, if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, yeah, go check it out. Military History Chronicles, really easy to find. Like and subscribe, appreciate it. Bub Rad, Giants were 1 of 5 teams to see attendance decline. That's pretty bad, especially when last year was kind of like a bump for MLB viewership. Fans were more interested last year for sure. And unfortunately, the Giants couldn't capitalize on that. Who are you going to blame? Yeah, still going. I'm shutting it down right now, MF. But thanks, guys, for joining. Again, thanks to the guests. Glenn showed up. Of course, Dan was on there. And you can catch us back here tomorrow at 8:30. And then Ron Paul's still the goat in my book. And then on Saturday evening, I'm probably going to go right around 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. You can catch my latest episode of Military History Chronicles. But yeah, so look for us, for me and Dan. Maybe he'll also show up tomorrow at 8:30. And we'll talk more Giants baseball. And see, maybe something else happens. We'll see. Oh, interesting. Secret missiles went behind enemy lines to capture a North Vietnamese general. Interesting. I know there's a story out there where a sniper went out there and actually was able to liquidate Northern California. Listen to me. A North Vietnamese general. All right, guys. That's it for me. Catch us tomorrow at 8:30. Thanks for showing up.